All right. Hello. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Welcome to another Portfolio 2K Cashflow live with I'm Possible Terence on Friday nights. Okay. Now, so without further ado, let's get our session started. All right. I have quite a couple of actions. I don't know if they're still valid, if I can do it, right? Because market has come off today, right? But okay, if I can't do it, I'll be just adding more positions. Right? There's no comms, there's no worries over here, there's no panic, right? We build our portfolio with a specific goal, with a specific aim, right? We don't take a lot of time to monitor it, all right? We don't spend a lot of time trying to get into our positions or stress about the positions that we trade, right? We know exactly what we're doing, all right? So let's get on with the session. All right, hi Susan over here, all right, and the rest of you who are joining me right now. Okay, it'll be great if you can leave a comment, all right, wherever you're joining me from, all right, be it YouTube, be it Facebook, all right, it'll all be great, all right, to know who's joining me in this session. Okay, now, so welcome to another session, and disclaimer, all right, I will be discussing live trades that I'm willing to put in my own accounts, right, but by no means these are any form of recommendations for you to trade at all, right? These are just my personal opinions, right, and trades that I'm willing to do, right, based on my experience, right, and my understanding of the stocks that I'm looking at today. Yeah, so please be aware that all forms of trading bears a risk of loss. All right, so be aware of all the risks involved before following any of these live trades in your own accounts. Okay. Now, so if you're joining us for the first time as well, right, there is another admin matter that I need to inform all of you. Right, so if you're joining us for the first time, please look at the banner. Right, it has this website called streamyard.com/Facebook. Right, you will need to go to that website. All right, it will be a pop-up page. Right, and then click on the Facebook button. Yeah, okay, click on the Facebook button, all right, and then, all right, it will approve your Facebook profile so that when you leave a comment, all right, during the session, I will actually be able to see who's commenting over here. All right, now, Lawrence, thank you very much for your well wishes. Yes, I am a little bit better, all right, but I have a different issue today. Oh, well, getting old. Yeah, I'll get different issues, all right, but I'm still going to carry on with this Facebook Live session, right? It's a promise to you. So as long as there's no schedule clashes over here, I will be performing it, right, and accounting for the portfolio that I'm building live together with all of you. Yep. All right. Now, so market is down today, and right, a simple comment over here. What do you expect? All right, really, right? What do you expect? You expect another rally over here, right? Things have changed, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, okay, if you think that this is one of those buy on the dips, right? Because I've seen some posts over here, right, where people tell you this is the time to buy on dips, this is the time to buy stocks, right? This is the time to buy Apple, this is the time to buy Facebook, right? I'm not saying that they're wrong over here, right? But I'm saying you got to understand what's your time horizon and what's your perspective, right? Because if you ask me right now, is Apple cheap? My answer is no. Yeah, right. It means it can go lower, right? And what do you expect? Because if there's more downside to this market, right, who do you think is going to lead the down move, right? The very stocks that have led the up move, right? And Apple, right, is the biggest market cap, right? So if the index is going to go down, right, Apple has to go down along with it, all right? And by no means, right? Yes, I know Apple has corrected 20, 30%, but it is not cheap. Right, it is not cheap. All right. Personally, I think there are more downside. So if you're getting right now for kind of like a bounce, right, on the long trade, right, then there's a possibility, right. But if you're getting right now to be a long-term investor, no, right. Let me tell you up front now. This is the market right now to trade stocks, not to invest in stocks. All right. So if you're thinking of buying and holding for any stock right now, this is not the time. All right. This is not the time. This is not the market. Why? All right, whether you like to hear it or not, whether you object or not, rising interest rate environments is never good for the market. I don't care where you hear it from, all right, but this is the fact. Rising interest rate environments is never good for the market, and it's easy to understand why. Money is becoming more expensive, all right, and when money becomes more expensive, what do people do? Number one, they borrow less. Number two, they tend to keep more money in the banks. Why? Because they're getting paid more now, all right, now. So people fear. Right, and I'm sure you've seen a lot of reports now saying, right, that people rather keep cash, right, because many of their investments are not performing well, right, and it's not the end of it. Why? Because oil prices are still very high, right, inflation is still not curbed, right, so it has to continue, right, it is not about to stop, yeah, okay, but every market, even when it goes down, right, it's not going to go down in a straight line, right, there will be what we call the ebb and flows, right, so we have a down move now, so we have a bounce. Right. Okay. Let's go and understand the markets together. Right. So this is my outlook of the markets over here. All right. Now, So this is the SPY, all right, which I'm using to represent the entire index, right? And if you see over here, yes, it has broken from this channel, right? But it has yet to break this resistance level over here, all right? And I have this resistance level at 4,150 on the index, all right? So what do we have today? All right, let me just double check and confirm, right? The index is trading at 4,120, right? So it did attempt to make a break yesterday, right? But then today, right, we have what we call an indecision day, right? So if you look at the candles over here, right, this candle today, as of now, right, it's a very small candle, right? It's being swallowed, all right, by yesterday's move. So what it's trying to tell you right now is today, right, people are undecided, right? They're undecided, so they're not committing to the markets, right? And, right, yesterday's move, all right, is entirely covering, right, what the action is today, right? But we still got a couple of hours before the market close, right? And it's always very important, all right, before the weekend, right? This is a time to see, all right, if traders are actually comfortable, right, holding long positions into a weekend, right? Because that's a long time over here. That's 2 days of market inaction, right? And nobody knows what's going to come out on Monday, right? So it gives you, right, an indication, right, of how confident, right, the traders are holding long positions, or will they end up taking profits before the end of the closing today, right? Now, so we have a down move today, all right? The markets are, let's just see, right, down by about 1.3% right now, which is about 50 points. All right, okay, it can actually get more severe, right? And the reason why it can get more severe is if it fails to break this resistance level, right, the market may come down, right? And, right, the first test over here, right, it's actually the resistance of the down channel, right? And that is below 4,000 points. So market can actually fall more than 100 points by closing today. All right, why? Because it's enjoyed a good week. All right, we have what? Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, right? So this entire week, all right, has been kept high. Yeah, okay, it's kind of like an inactive market, right? After Monday, right? It went nowhere, right? It went up, down, down, up, down. Yeah, all right. It's literally non-movement, right? Now, so market at the moment, all right, still has more downside pressures, all right? Then, all right, upside pushes over here, all right? Now, can it break this resistance level? The answer is yes, right? But even if it breaks this resistance level, right, it's still nothing, all right? If you ask me, right, the way I see it, this is nothing, right? But another day can bounce, all right? Why? Right? Because as long as it keeps forming lower highs right now, okay, which the market has done, all right? We have seen quite a couple of lower highs right now, right? The bears are in control. Yeah, okay, the bears are in control. Oh, my apologies. Yes, deep red. Hang on. There we go. All right, my apologies. All right, I forgot to remove the banner. All right, Jinping, yes, thank you very much. All right, I saw that. Okay, I saw that. Okay, now, so this will be much clearer now. Right, so the market can actually fall off. All right, and if the risk is to the fall off over here, we have to be very careful. Right now, although I say this is not the time to get long on stocks, right, but it doesn't mean, right, that you cannot be bullish. Right, you just have to be very selective. Right, so if you've been joining me week after week after week, right, you would realize I keep harping on this. Right, good stocks are always good stocks. Right, and that's the very element of why you should be investing in the stock market. So it is more important right now to actually pay attention to fundamentals, right? So whether you like it to, you like me saying it or not, fundamentals trump, right, or overcome technicals, right? Why? Because fundamentals are for the long term. Technicals are nothing but the short term, right? So first, fundamentals of a company is important, especially when you're on the buy side of a trade, right, or you want the stock to go up, right? And second, yeah, okay, the technicals is just aiding your decision based on the fundamentals, right? So what we're really looking out for right now is this. Market is on a down move, right? But you can still find good companies which are over delivering, right? Okay, but during the market happy times, we call it the happy times, right? Where they're high, yeah, okay, they don't exactly know what they're doing, but they're just chasing the market because of excitement, yeah, okay, all right. Now is the time to pay attention to fundamentals, which are doing well, right? But yet these stocks, in terms of their prices, were actually ignored by the entire market, right? Why? Because if they are performing well, but their stock price is being ignored, what we have right now, right, is an undervalued situation, right? Okay, and with the markets coming down, right, fund managers are going to go into parking or / protective mode. So when they start to look to move their money, right, from risky stocks into safer havens, right, whether be it to park the money, right, or to actually put into a different form of investments, right, these undervalued, fundamentally strong stocks are actually going to benefit. Yeah, okay, so that's the objective that we have over here. Now, so moving into that, right, the whole aim of portfolio 2K cash flow, all right, okay, that we started about in May, all right, and May was actually the initial phase of the market collapse, right? So we actually started this in what we would consider the worst possible moment, right? But yet, okay, our goal of 2,000 cash flow, right, 2,000 US dollars in cash flow, right, has actually been achieved for our first month, all right, and we are actually on target to hitting it for a second month as well. Yeah, okay, so up until yesterday's closing, I was actually expecting to close all my positions today. And let me explain to you why, right? Because if I bring you to my portfolio right now, okay, I'm going to show you my portfolio, right? And looking at yesterday's closing premiums, right? These were all my current open positions, right? And based on the closing premiums that I could close them for, right, I realized that even if I close all the positions, right, except WBA, where we're holding the stock with a call option, right? Everything, if I close them yesterday, all right, okay, I would still have locked in and guaranteed a $2,200 cash flow, right, before the end of the 1 month. All right, so that was actually my intention, to close everything if market held firm today. Right, but unfortunately, market is down by 1.5%. Right, so we will see what we can close. Right, and then we will make our calls from there. All right, we'll make our final decisions. Right, so without further ado, all right, that's my market understanding. All right, hi Nelson, I've seen you join me right now. All right, and with that, okay, let's go to a portfolio check. All right, so after the portfolio check, all right, we will then go into any new positions if possible. So first up, all right, we have an Intel 4250 put option, which expires on the 17th of June. All right, I was happy to pay 38 cents and get it close. But let's see how much it's worth today, okay, shall we? All right, now, so Intel. All right, it's going to be tough because Intel is down by $1 today. All right, now, but having said that, let's still take a look. So we have the 17th of June, 42.50. All right, now we would have to pay double the amounts to get it closed today. So for now, I'm still comfortable with Intel. Intel is still very undervalued, so I'm just going to keep the option. All right, so we can't close it today, ladies and gentlemen. All right, now I would have closed it if I was more active. All right, but the promise to all of you, right, in this session, all right, is that we're going to handle this portfolio in a very passive manner. Right, I'm only going to take actions on new trades or new trade managements on Friday. All right, when is the live mode? All right, which is 10:30 p.m. Okay, all right, now so we're leaving this position running. Right, so it's still in the mix. Right, and now let's go to VZ. Right, so Verizon Wireless, we have a 17 June $50 put option. Right, I could have closed it based on yesterday's closing premium of 35 cents. Right, but let's see what we have today. Okay, all right, now. So VZ, right, $50 put option. We were to pay about 43 cents to get it closed today. All right, 43 cents to get it closed. Let's have a look. Nah, it's not worth it to close as well. All right, so no. All right, we're still leaving it. Oh man. All right, my plans are all foiled by Mr. Market. All right, but we're never in control. Don't we agree? All right, we can only take what we're given. All right, now next one, PayPal. All right, so PayPal, all right, $75 puts for 17th of June. Right, this is definitely profitable. Right, but I just want to see how much is left on the table with 2 weeks left to go. All right, so PayPal. We have got a very, very safe trades on our hands right now, right? And the 75 put is still worth about 80 cents at the moment, right? So I think it's still really rich, right? So I'm going to hang on to it, all right? So that means I'm going to leave it as well. Oh, man, right? We're going to leave this position as well. So we're going to keep it, all right? And no closing. Oh, right? What about WBA, ladies and gentlemen? All right, so for our WBA trade, where is it sitting right now? Ta-da, WBA. All right, so WBA is trading about $43, all right, on the stock, all right, $43 on the stock, right, and we have a $45 call option. So based on the current stock price, right, this call option is actually on plan, right, to expire worthless without claims. It means that we will still be left, right, with the stock itself, right, for yet another month, right. But having said that, I also want you to pay attention, right? That the actual fact is that our break-even price on this stock ownership, right, is actually only, right, minus 126, right, minus 53 cents. Right, our break-even price on the stock is actually only $43.21. Right, so come expiry, right, if I can have WBA at a stock price of higher than 43.20, I can actually opt to close the stock position and still end up with a profitable outcome. All right, and doing so, right, I can actually restart again by selling a put option. Yeah, okay, I'll see what is left, or I'll see what is there to do, right, and then we'll make a decisions, right, come 17 June, right, nothing for now, ladies and gentlemen. All right, now, so moving on to the last position that we have, gap. All right, I wanted to close it for 10 cents, right, let's see how much we have to pay today. All right, now, gap. It's a non-mover today, so we may be able to close it for 10 cents. Let's have a look. 10. Oh man, because market is down, right? So volatility has spiked, right, causing premiums to be higher. Do we have a $9 put or $10 put? Let me just double check. Oh yes, we have a $9 put option. We can close it. All right, let's close it. All right, I'll explain to you why I'm gonna make this move. All right, so how much are we gonna close it for today? So closing it will only cost us 8 cents. All right, yes, heck, I'm gonna close this today. All right, so if you do have this trade, all right, we are going to go ahead and close the gap, all right, $9 put option, all right, so we're going to go ahead and buy back, all right, the 5 put options that we sold, all right, for 8 cents. That's good. There we go, we're done. All right, now, so just for you to verify that, all right, on the trading clock on the platform, 9:47 p.m., all right, okay, it's probably following Hong Kong time. All right, now, so GPS, June 17, $9 put option. I bought back 5, all right, at 8 cents over here. So this is a trade, which means this is the order that was filled over here. All right, so now there is filled. All right, let's have it officially recorded. All right, so I bought back 5, all right, I paid only 8 cents for it. Right, that's another winning trade. All right, we pocketed 110 US dollars. Right, all in about 1 week, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we did this in 1 week, so all the more. All right, I'm happy to close it today. All right, so what's the date today? All right, let me verify that. All right, 3rd of June. All right, so yes, we did a 1 week trade over here. We opened it last Friday. All right, and we're closing it right now for 2/3 of the premium that we collected. Yeah. All right, now, so that's going to free up my $3,000, all right, and that brings my portfolio exposure back down to $86,000, all right, so I'm about 86% exposed, right, based on my entire capital, all right, and 2 winning trades locked out for this month, all right, now, so one of the reasons why I wanted to close GPS, right, is this, all right, I still like the stock, all right, I still like it, I still think, all right, it is very, very undervalued, all right, but what now I'm going to do is this. All right, I'm actually going to start planning, right, for my next month's cash flow. All right, okay, I'm actually going to plan for next month's cash flow. So I'm going to start selling the July over here, right, okay, and all right, I think $10 will work out. All right, so I'm going to sell the July, right, $10 put option. All right, so I'm going to target at about 53 cents over here. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. All right, so I'm going to keep to the same size, just 5, which is not a very, very big exposure as well. All right, so let's see if I can get it filled. Man, seems like nobody wants to bite our bullet over here. Right, I'm happy 51. All right, I'm just going to take what the market is giving right now. All right, so I just took 51 over here to reopen the position. All right, so if you can see, all right, I sold GPS July 15. Right, I sold 5, all right, for 51 cents. All right, now, so we can record this down as our new position over here. All right, new cash flow, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so this is going to be for the month of July. right? This is trade position number 14. Right, we're selling 5, right? GPS, right? Portfolio puts, 15th of July, right? $10 put option, all right, on the 3rd of June, right? And I'm collecting 51 cents. So this is going to pay me $255 in cash flow, right? And it's only going to cost me $3,500, right, in capital, right, for this position. So as all of you are aware, right, if you've joined us from the very first week, this is a $100,000 portfolio, right? So based on the exposure, this is only taking up 3.5% of my account value, right? So it's a really small exposure, but yet, right, it creates 10% of my cash flow target for the next month, right? Why not? Yeah, okay, why not, really, right? Because even if I have to hold the stock, right, I really only need to commit about $5,000, right? It's not a very expensive stock position, yeah, all right? Now, so is it 5,000? No. Yeah, $5,000. Yeah, all right. 5 times 100 shares times $10. Yep, $5,000. I can do that. All right, now, so yeah. Right, I'm going to stop month 2 cash flow as of GPS trade over here. All right, and all right, we're going to put this as our new month's cash flow. There we go. Oh no. Right, we're $255 on the mark, right, for the following month. Right, now, am I going to add another position today? Right, I actually am. All right, so let's get to our portfolio over here. All right, and another position I want to add on, right, is on the weakness today. Right, and it's actually on, yes, right, Abercrombie and Fitch. All right, okay, I'm actually going to add another position on Abercrombie and Fitch. For what reasons? For the very same reasons as Gap. Right, okay, there's no difference over here. This stock, right, had a bad quarter. Right, it reported a loss for the very first time after many, many quarters. But one bad losing quarter doesn't define, right, the profitability of the company. Right, so I'm going to bank on this, right, because I think it's severely undervalued at 6 PE, right, for a retailer. Right, so retail companies, right, the profitable one, right, usually trades between 10 to 12 PE. Right, so now we have an undervalued of about half its normal valuation. Right, am I expecting the stock to go up by a lot? No. All right, but what I'm expecting is that prices should not fall any lower. Yeah, okay, so let's see what's the lowest it has clocked. Right, after reporting that loss, it actually reached a bottom of about $18. Right, $18. So we can use that as a guide over here. Right, so looking at our options, I'm planning for next month's cash flow. Right, so I'm actually going with $18 over here. If you look, right, we can actually aim for 105, right, for the $18. That's not too bad after all. Yeah, okay, so lower than the recent low, right? That's our benchmark, right? That's our risk level, right? I think it's a good mix over here. All right, so let's go after it. All right, this is an $18 stock. I think we can a $20 stock, so I think we can afford a 5 option position as well. All right, so I'm going to go with 5 option position. All right, so let's see what I can aim for. It's not willing to take me. There we go. All right, it took me for 101, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, all right, so I sold 5, right, ANF, right, July 15, $18 puts. I've sold 5 of these portfolio puts at a price of premium of 101. All right, so how much is it going to add to our portfolio cash? Right, as you realize, right, I've already achieved my June target, which is month 2. Month 2 is about 2,780 on the maximum. Yeah, okay, we may fall short, all right, if we take profits early. Right, but if we leave it to expiry, right, we can pocket up to $2,700. Right now, so now we're planning for July, so we're adding trade number 15. All right, ENF, 5 shares. 5 options. 15 July, $18 puts. Right, today's date and 1.01. So this is gonna help me get all right, or collect $505 in cash flow, all right, and all right, the exposure on my portfolio is about $6,300. All right, so now, am I actually looking to add more stocks over here? The answer is yes, right? But right, paying attention to my risk exposure, I can't. Right? Unfortunately, I can't. Right? But I'm going to squeeze. Okay, I'm going to squeeze one in. Right? What am I going to do? All right, I'm actually looking to add one more stock today. Right? But I misjudged my exposure on my portfolio. All right, so staying safe. All right, I need to keep to it. So I should not go over 100,000. Yeah, okay, I should not. Actually, I have 102,000 now. Correct? Oh man, let's do this. All right, 100,000 plus our first month's profit. We have $102,300. I can stretch it a little bit. All right, okay, now, so I actually want to put on another trade. All right, now, let me ask all of you, shall we? All right, because I'm building this together with you. All right, should I do it? Or should I wait for next week? What do all of you think? Leave a comment. I love it. I knew some of you were going to say it, all right, and take it in, right? You did not fail me, right? So as well as Susan over here, all right, now, so I know you're hungry for cash flow, or, all right, even if you don't want to do the trade, all right, I think you say yes because you want to know what stocks I'm looking at today. All right, now, so we have a couple of Facebook users over here. All right, so once again, all right, I'm just going to quickly flash the banner, all right, so that, we will have you participating. Right, if you can go to this website, streamyard.com/Facebook, right, you will be brought to a pop-up page, right, and over there, just click the Facebook banner or button, right, so when you leave the next comment, we can actually know who you are, okay? Right, now, so I'm actually going to squeeze it, right, but I'm going to take a small exposure of about 2 or 3 contracts, right, so let's have a look, okay? All right, now, so let's see how much it's going to cost me and how many contracts I can squeeze first, all right, so I'm going to take 16. Now, one of the reasons why I want to squeeze it today, right, is the fact that, all right, today market is down, all right, so if I'm taking on bullish trades, all right, okay, it is a good time to get in when the markets are down, right, it makes heck a lot of sense, all right, so this stock is going to cost $32, right, if I enter it today, right, aiming for about $1.10 premium, right, for 3 options. No, that's too much, right, as you can see, it's going to put my exposure way above, right, so I'm going to go for 2 options. 2 options, 4,000, right? That sets me at 100,000 on the mark. So I can do 2 options today and collect a further $220. So I'm going to do that, ladies and gentlemen. Now, okay. All right. Now I'm going to do that. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Oh, what a mistake, Lewis. Thank you very much. It was an oversight. Thank you very much, Lewis. All right, now I can go for the full size. All right, thank you, Lewis. You saved my trade today. So I can go for a full size of 5 contracts because that's going to take up 11,000 or 10% exposure, and I'm only $91,000. Thank you, Lewis. Thank you. All right, now everybody thank Lewis. Oh man. All right, that was a mistake. All right, yes, you're right, Lewis. This is a covered call position, which means for selling this call option, I don't need to set aside any capital. All right, I did set aside capital to own the stock, so I don't need any further capital to sell the call option. All right, so Lewis, you're right. All right, it was an oversight in recording. All right, so I'm going to take a 5 option trade, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so which stock is it? All right, it is another considered. All right, considered. All right, this is a retail stock, but it's more like a specialty retailer. Yeah, okay, now we are going back to one of our favorites, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going back to Hog. Hog, yes, Harley Davidson. All right, so why am I going back to Hog? All right, simple, because it is still profitable. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. All right, okay, now, so the last quarter, it didn't do so well, all right, but it made a comeback. All right, now, another reason why I like Hog over here, right, is this. right? One of the reasons I like Hawk is because Hawk is moving with times, right? Now, do we all agree that in terms of motorcycles, right? Hawk is the leader. Harley Davidson, right, is the go-to, right? But not just that, right? Even Harley Davidson, right, is coming up with electric motorcycles, right? They are keeping with times. They're keeping the zero emission policies, right? And with their stature over here, right, people are gonna buy their electric motorcycles, right? And yes, we are going into a high inflation environment. We are going to maybe possibly a recession, right? But we must understand people who buy Hog, right, will keep buying, right? They are the kind of like a more affluent kind of crowd over here, right? And despite this environment, if they want to own a Hog, they will own a Hog. Yeah, okay, it doesn't stop them. Yeah, okay, now, so with that, okay, I actually think, right, that prices are low right now, right? So I'm going to gun for it. Okay, I'm going to gun for it over here, right? And let's do this. Let's go for a safer trade, all right? Because I'm actually collecting some good income, all right? So I've decided to change the option that I'm going to sell, right? I'm planning for 15 July, right? I'm going to go for the $31 put option, all right? I was gunning for the 32, right? But now, right, I think 31 is good enough, all right? So let's go for 31. Right, 5 option contract. Hey, somebody squeezed in front of me. Who's that? Own up. Own up. Andy, is it you? Was that you, Andy? Jackson, I'm pretty sure if they're going to go electric, they're definitely not going to lose that roaring sound of their bike. Right? I'm sure they're not going to do that. That's like their trademark over here. Yeah. Right. Andy, is that you leaving a comment? No, all right? Because that's how you look like, Andy. Yeah, okay, now. So I probably need you to go back to StreamYard and approve your profile again. Yeah, okay. Nelson is asking, thanks, Lewis. Any rewards for Lewis? Yes. Right, he gets another trade. Together with all of you, he gets to share the information. How about that? Okay, now, so let's go for it. All right, I'm happy for this. Let's see if I can get it filled. No, man, they're definitely not biting. All right, I'm taking it. All right, I'm taking it at the market. Yeah, okay, so I'm happy with the premiums. I'm going to take it. All right, now, so I just sold Harley Davidson July 15, $31 put. I sold 5 of them for 85 cents. All right, so let's go ahead and record it down. Louis, you like it? You like a gift? All right, I'm sure you're a giver, right? Okay, all right, now, so let's record this down. So the stock in question is Hog. All right, I did say I wanted 32, but I decided to go safer. All right, we pocketed 85 cents. That's still not too bad, $425. And ladies and gentlemen, all right, we are 50% off the mark into month 3. How about that? All right, it is the toughest of markets that we're facing. Right, markets are in a bearish mood. Right, but yet, right, building a portfolio, right, around selling put options can work. All right, you just need to know what stocks you're dealing with. You need to know what your fundamentals are. You need to know, all right, what is considered a cheap price for these companies. All right, so would you like to learn more? Right, if you do, right, do consider seriously joining some of our mentorships available. Yeah, okay, all right. If you like to take things for a further step, right, on top of the profits that you have already made, yeah, okay, you would really want to consider, right, embarking on any of our mentorship programs. Okay. Right now, so if you want more details, right, about our available mentorships, right, just send an email, right, to my admin team over here, okay? All right, so if you're interested in any of our mentorship programs, just send an email in the banner scrolling below. All right, now, electric Harley, no vroom vroom sound, I don't know. All right, Pang Sin, right, we will wait to see. All right, how about that? Maybe you're to put on some artificial sound effects. All right, I don't know. All right, but they're definitely moving with time, so why not? Yeah. All right, now, so with that, I just trade the Harley Davidson. Let me wrap things up. because the valuations are dirt cheap. All right, profitable company with a strong brand, right? Valuations are dirt cheap, so I don't see any further downsides, right? I don't really see a quick upside as well, right? But okay, a limited downside is good enough when I'm selling portfolio puts, right? Okay, so if I know my stocks, that's how I play it, right? So I'm taking all these trades and positions, as you saw, right, in very quick turnaround time, in less than half an hour, right? Why? Because I know exactly how I want to build my portfolio, right? And I have a very, very simple goal, right? As long as I can hit this goal, right, I'm on the mark, right? So month one, all right, which is May, right, 2022, right? We hit our target. Oh man. Right, May 22, we hit our target. All right, so June 22, we hit our target as well. All right, and now for July, right, we are off the mark. All right, ladies and gentlemen, all right, we're halfway there for the month of July. Yeah, all right, KK, all right, KK, this is only found here. All right, why? Because portfolio 2K cash flow, all right, is done specifically, all right, for the public crowd, right? So which means whether you're part of a community or not, right? My aim of running this session and committing to a live session every Friday, right, apart from scheduled clashes or trading holiday, right, is to enrich and empower and to give back, right, to anyone who's looking to build, right, a simple portfolio, right, aim, right, at a specific goal, which is cash flow. Yeah, it doesn't have to be too difficult. It doesn't have to be too time consuming, right? Because if you have joined me, you realize, right, I don't take a lot of actions, right? It takes about 30 minutes a week, right? And that's because I'm describing, right, why I'm doing the trade to all of you, right? If I did this on my own, it would have taken me less than 10 minutes, just, trying to create this cash flow on a month-to-month basis, right? So why not? Won't you agree, right? Because even if I build this portfolio, right, on the back end, right, I can still continue to do trades on my account, right, and add on to this $2,000 that I'm generating month on month, right? So would you like to learn how to generate even further, right, if you're following some of these trades, right? That's where the mentorship programs come in, right? We trade live, and in fact, we trade twice, right? 2 live trading sessions every single week, right, with all our participants, right? So imagine how much learning and how much of a better trader you can actually be, right? And this is the time that you need these kind of, hand holding, as I would call it, right? Why? Because markets are very volatile. Markets are risky right now. So won't you like, right, having an experienced trader, right, holding your hands and guiding you over the next 12 months, right? Because that's how we do our mentorships. It lasts for 12 months. And every single week, you get 2 live training sessions with us, right? So if you'd like to find out more, right, just send an email to my admin team, all right? And I'm sure they'll get back to you. All right, so that's where I have it. All right, so Kok Kyung, right, the only way you can get your hands on the Excel sheet, all right, is coming here and taking a look at it together with me week after week. Yeah, all right, I do show you what I'm doing over here live, right, and I update it as we go. Yeah, okay, so apart from that, all right, the only ones, right, who would be able to get this trade record or Excel sheet for your own recording, right, it's actually our participants, all right, which means, right, my members, all right, my trading members actually get to download, right, the copy of the file itself, right, and they can do it, use it for their own personal portfolio updates. All right, now, so I'm done. All right, I am done over here. All right, but just likewise, all right, I didn't take too long today, so I would be happy to open the floor for a couple of minutes to any of you who have questions for me. All right, so if any of you have questions, this is the time to start throwing comments. All right, I'll leave it for about a minute, right, to see if there are any comments with questions, right, because I know that there is a lag when it comes to running Facebook Live. Right, so if I don't see any questions, right, then I will opt, right, to end the Facebook Live session together with all of you. Okay, but in the meantime, right, please do remember, right, if you find that whatever I'm doing, right, or whatever I'm giving back, all right, on a week-to-week basis, right, is really enriching to you. You like the idea, you have made money from it, right, you're enjoying the process, you're learning more, right. If any of the following criteria have been met, right, I would like to seek your help to hit the like button, all right, or okay, to hit the share button so that we can reach out to more people, right? Even if you're joining us from even if you're joining us from YouTube, right? It'll be great if you can hit the share button, right? Because it's all about enriching others, right, who are not live together with us right now. So if you could do that alongside with me, I'll be very, very appreciative over here. All right, same thing over here, right? WBA, what am I looking for? Right, same thing. All right, I do believe it's severely undervalued. Yeah, all right. Oh, hang on. All right, let's go to WBA. There we go. Market is in a sell-off mode now. All right, so like I said, all right, we can be down over 100 points by closing today. And look, right, WBA, right, is trading at a 6 PE. Right, it's a healthcare company, or not really a healthcare company. It's a pharmacy outlet. Right, it's a pharmacy chain store. Right now, if I really need to show you this, right, how about this? Let's go to Analyze tab. Let's look at its profitability. Right, if you look at its profitability, earnings per share, right, 2017, 378, right, 2018, 492, 431, right, 2020, it hit a snag, right, but it's back in 2021. Yeah, okay, it's improving again, right now. So do you think, yeah, right, do you think, right, it warrants a higher pricing when it's trading at 6 PE? Right. Furthermore, the 5-year average is actually at 14 PE. So why not? Yeah. Okay. Jinping. All right. If you're asking about AMD stocks over here, right, you might be concerned with some of the trades that we have. Right. Fear not. Right. Because next Monday, when you join us in our member session, right, our live trading session on Monday, all right, I will be doing an update on it. Yeah. Okay. So as of right now, right, my status stays the same on AMD. Right. It is overvalued. It is overrun. Yeah. In a current inflationary market environment, right, my question stays the same. Right. If you look at AMD now, right, why would you want to chase the stock? Right. Because now if I extend this line, right, if I activate this drawing and I extend it further, what are you seeing? Right. It is trading potentially at its resistance level, the max move. Yeah. All right. So just from a very simple term, this is a downward moving channel, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. All right. It is. All right. Now, so we have a bounce. All right. But it hit the top of the resistance level yesterday. All right. And what do we have today? Right. An inverted hammer. Yeah. Inverted hammer. If it stays the way it is. Right now. So I'm not rushing to, worry about this trade. Yeah. Okay. There is limited upside based on the technicals. Right. Based on the market condition. Yeah. Okay. So why the heck not? Right. So this stock is just benefiting, right, from the not even the bargain chasers, the greed chasers, right? Because they think the market has done well, right? And all these fund managers are plowing money back, right, into what we call those momentum stocks. Yeah. Okay. But if the market turns back into bearish mode, right, they are going to start selling it as well. Right. So we always trade from fundamental perspective first. Always remember that. Right. Is AMD really going to be a growth stock? Think about it. Right? How long has their fight been with Intel? Right? Has they ever won a fight? They have always won for 1 or 2 years. Right? And after that, Intel comes fighting back. And what happens to them? They're left for dead again. Why? Because over the years, 20, 30, right? I don't know how long this battle has been. Right? Have they ever been able to capture a lot more market share from Intel? No, they haven't. Right? So what makes you think this time is going to change? Right? And do you think Intel is ever going to let that happen with the amount of cash hoard they have? Right, so that's my faith over here. Right, so if I have to trade Intel versus AMD, right, you know where my stance is. Right, you know how much I like Intel. Right, you know, right, my outlook on AMD. So I'll leave the rest to you. Yeah. Okay. Deep Rate. All right. Now, so Deep Rate is asking, we are liable for dividends for in the money calls that we sell. Right, who will receive these dividends? Very simple. All right. Now, remember. Okay. Now, when you sell a call option, yeah. Okay. When you sell a call option, your opposing party is the buyer. Right, so a buyer of call option has the right, to buy the stock. All right, so what they're going to do is this, right? If the option is in the money, that means they are already making profits on the option. All right, so they will convert it into the stock the day before ex-dividend. Why? Because by converting it into the stock, right, they're still going to make money. Remember, they're going to make money because it's in the money, right? And on top of that, they qualify to pocket the dividends. Can you see now? All right, okay. And when they exercise the option on you, right, you are left with a short selling position. So if you're short selling the stock, what does that mean? You're borrowing a stock that you don't have. So you're liable to pay the dividend to the counterparty. That's how it works, right? So that's why there's a risk when it comes to selling in the money calls. But for our WBA, it doesn't matter. Right? It doesn't matter because we actually own the shares. Can you see now? All right. So if anybody assigns, yes, on our call option position, right, the stocks from our account will disappear as well. Right. So we don't own any short selling position. Right. So we're not liable for any dividend. So in terms of how we build this portfolio, all right, I'm not worried at all. Yeah, okay. All right, now, ASML, no objectives, no views. All right, why? Because I don't recognize the name. Fair enough for that. I don't recognize what the company does, right, to be honest. All right, so, but it does seem like a very profitable business. Let me have a look. I don't like it. Why? Simple. Right? I don't like it because it's a very costly stock. Why would I want to trade a $500 over dollar stock? All right, okay, when I can trade a $50 stock? I have enough stocks to trade. So why would I want to go after a $500 stock? Because if you think about it, even if I sell a $500 put, right? If I sell a $500 put, ladies and gentlemen, right? Let's do some calculations together. All right, a $500 put. If I sell one option, which is 100 shares, right? Even allocating 70%, right? It's still going to cost me $35,000 for that one position, right? $35,000 on a $100,000 account. No, that breaks our rules because I said, all right, the maximum I'll go to is at most 20%. All right, so based on the account size, all right, I'll never trade the stock. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, I never like the idea of trading such an expensive stock as well. Yeah. All right. Now, so no go. All right. There's another issue as well, right? Because if you realize this is a Netherlands-based company, right? That's why you have an NV over here, right? Okay. So when it's based on Netherlands, right, you need to find out, all right, what kind of accounting policies they are actually following. Yeah. Okay. Because I understand, right, that in America, right, they follow this GAP policy, right? So when you follow a GAP policy, it's very hard, right, to play manipulations on the accounts, right? But when you do the international financial standards, right, which is what Japan companies and what China companies are using right now, right, we understand that it's actually much easier, right, to put color into the accounts, right? They can take a write-off here, they can add something there, they can put a goodwill here, they can put a goodwill there, right? And it's all allowed, right? But these are not allowed on GAP policies, right? So you have to be very careful on that. Yep. Okay, let's take Gary's last question over here, right? And then we'll call today's session to an end, okay? So recession and inflations are not good. So may I know what's the difference and why would it matter if we are in either of them, right? Does the stock market drop in either scenario? Yes, Gary, yes. All right, okay, why? Because like I said in today's session, right at the start, right, when we have inflation, right, the only way to control it, right, is for governments to raise interest rates, right? And when they raise interest rates, it starts to make the cost of borrowing expensive, right? So Gary and the rest of you who are live with me right now, let me ask you a simple common sense question, right? If interest rates on loans are going up, will you still, right, be so keen on buying the next investment property, right? When you know the interest rates are going to keep rising now, right? Will you be so flexible, right, to commit to a new property purchase right now? Leave a comment, okay? Let me know. All right, so Patrick says no. All right, I'll believe that the rest of you who are going to leave comments as well is going to be a no. Right now, and then what do you think this is going to do? All right, so if people are not going to borrow money to buy properties, right, the same thing is going to happen, all right, when it comes to stocks. What makes stocks trade? Margins, margin accounts, right, creates that flexibility for people to trade more than they can afford, right? But now with higher interest rates, right, these margins are going to cost more, right? It costs more to borrow. So it'll make people think twice, right, about using margins to buy more stocks or to trade more stocks, right? And when there's a lack of demand, all right, there is much more supply because supply is always there, right? So when there's a lack of demand, what's going to happen? Prices are going to fall, right? Prices have to fall, all right? So that's what it's going to do to markets, right? And then when prices fall, what's going to happen next? Recession, correct? Okay, so that's how it links over here. So inflation, right, is because the economy is too hot, right? But when the government curbs, right, then, all right, it can potentially fall, right, into a recessionary period. Yeah, okay, why? Because when interest rate goes up, right, companies cut back, companies cut jobs, like you see Tesla announcing today. Yeah, okay, many companies are probably going to follow suit, right? So when that happens, people lose jobs, recession kicks in, right? Voila, 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 right? And that's That's the whole game. This is just all by a market cycle, right? The cycle has been rigged for the last 10 years, right? This bullish market has been hyperextended for way too long, right? It's timeline, right? It's skewed, right? It's like this metaverse, right? Yeah, okay, timeline is skewed, right? But now it's coming back. Yeah, okay. Markets are always playing the same story. It is never different, right? The timeline may vary, right? But the story that is played is always the same, right? So don't ever let yourself get sucked into it, right? Always recognize the reality. Fundamentals has to be there. What's the very principle of making money in the stock market? Can anybody type a comment and let me know? What's the most important, all right, okay, principle when trying to make money, okay, investing in the stock market? Yes, Nelson, that's pretty much it. So with oil staying so expensive, right, and you must understand when there's a commodity boom, right, commodity boom, once it comes, it stays for some time, right? It's not like it's going to go up and then disappear and come crashing. No, right? Commodity booms usually stay for about 1, 2, 3 years, right? So that's what we're going to see for the next few years over here, at least 1 year, right? High oil prices. So high oil prices are going to make things expensive, all right? Now, so does it mean that inflation, during inflation market rises? No, right? During inflation, when government raises interest rates, right, markets are going to it's going to continue to keep coming down. So that's why I said, right, when there's inflation, right, it causes governments to take the action of raising interest rates, right? When interest rate rises, every time an announcement to rise an interest rate is done, right, markets will always fall, right? Think the dot-com crash, right? What was the interest rate then? It went from 0 all the way to up to about 5%, if I'm not wrong. Okay, what happened during the 2008 crash? Yeah, okay, it went from 0 all the way up to 6% as well. Yeah, okay, all right. Now, so whenever interest rate keeps rising, all right, okay, it's going to make the market fall lower. Yeah, okay. All right, now, so because our interest rates have been kept low for so long, okay, for so long, right, and then together, right, with the policies of what Trump has done, which is to make America great again. So what effectively Trump has done, right, is to stop, right, the flow, right, of what globalization, right? What do I mean when I say that? It stops the flow of globalization, right? So in America, people and companies are not allowed to buy cheap goods and bring over, all right? So to produce it themselves, cost goes up. So when cost goes up, right, the selling prices will also have to go up, right? And that causes inflation, which cannot be undone. Yeah, okay, so whether you like it or not, it seems good for the short term, right? Make America great again, right? But then now, right, they're left to, suffer the wounds from it. Yeah, okay, now, so Susan, patience is not the one that I'm looking for, right? The right thing that I'm trying to get you is right down to the call. Buy low, sell high. Buy low, sell high. That's the very principle of making money in the stock market. Yeah, so what do you think the markets are right now? Do you think it's cheap? All right, let me give you some objectives. Right, because Netflix have been hammered, right? Netflix have been hammered this year, right? But what I'm going to tell you is this: Netflix have already finished their growth phase. So the question you need to think right now is, right, at an 18 PE ratio, can Netflix still continue to grow at an 18% growth rate year on year? If it can't, then this is expensive, right? This is expensive. Right, and many of you are very interested to know this. Apple, right? Apple has been hammered, right? Yeah, okay, it came off from 182 all the way down, right, to what, 140. Yeah, okay, now, so it fell by a little, right? But at 23 PE, it is not cheap, right? Why? Apple dominates 80% of their market share in whatever they do. They are the best in whatever they do. Have you seen, right, a 23% growth in their revenues year on year, right? Haven't. So that's why this stock is overvalued, right? When will I touch Apple? Maybe at 100. I'll be interested, right? So if I'm going to touch it at 100, that means the stock is still very, very overvalued right now, right? From right here, okay, this stock can still fall by about 20, 30%, right? Because it is possible for the market, right? Market can still fall, right? Let me give you another one, Nike. Right? Nike has crashed and burned from 170 all the way down to 100. Right? But the problem is this: will I trade Nike? The answer is no. Why? Because even at this price, Nike is at 30 times PE. Right? Do you see Nike in this inflationary environment where people are going to cut back on their spending? still growing at a 30% per annum revenue growth? If you can't, this is expensive. So why am I buying retailers? I'm buying retailers because I'm buying retail companies, all right? No, not Gap. All right, okay, sorry. There's an arrow on the Gap over here, all right? But let's take ANF, that'll be easier. Right? I'm buying specialty retailers which are undervalued, right? Trading at 6 PE. You can't go wrong. They're making money, right? They're severely undervalued, right? In a market that is coming off right now. So they're already cheap. Who's left to sell them? All the selling is done, right? Valuations are in line, right? So that's how I look at it. Yeah. All right, now, so Facebook user, unfortunately, I don't know who's leaving the comments, but I'd like to add on to this. All right, so once the interest rate remains stable, economy will recover, so the best time to bottom fish. That's the problem. Interest rates are not done rising, right? Because inflations are still not curbed, and markets are going to continue to be volatile. Why? Because when situations are unpredictable, market hates that. Right? Market wants certainty, and they're not getting it in the form of interest rates now. They don't know where is the rise or the ceiling going to be. Where is enough? They don't know, right? So that's why it's gonna be very, very choppy. Yeah. Okay. So that's the problem over here. All right. Now, so with that, okay, I think I'll hold the close to today's session. All right. We're going into the 1 hour mark. I'll give you back your weekend over here. I've been nagging for way over time. All right. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you benefited from the session. Right, and remember, okay, hit the like button, share the videos, right, so we can reach out to more like-minded people, right, like yourself, and help them benefit. Okay, this is I'm Possible Terence over here. I will see all of you live again next Friday, okay, ladies and gentlemen, right, and let's see how much cash flows, right, we can lock in and we can add on to our portfolio. Right, so with that, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye. All right, Andy, all right, it's you. All right, so remember, all right, click the StreamYard.com. All right, bye for now. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.